Delighted at UK Reef to be joined by Tim Whitehill, the director of the Save Construction Initiative. It's a movement, isn't it, Tim? So can you tell us a bit about Save Construction Initiative, please?
Yeah, no, it is a movement, and it's been around for about 3 years, very loosely, mainly running events in Manchester, just getting people in the room talking about vulnerabilities of the construction sector. But Zoe Brook, she's the principal founder. She will give me some acknowledgement, but she is the founder, and she just wanted to create a forum and a platform to talk about the vulnerabilities of the sector. You know, the key stat that we're working towards is pre-COVID, 3,500 firms a year in construction fall into insolvency. It's now running at around 4,500. And we're top
Crikey,
of the league
that's
table.
a high stat, isn't it?
Yeah, we're top of the league table, and that's about 20% of all insolvencies are related to construction. And you know, when you look at that stat, you think, well, is that the cause of the problems? Because as an industry, we're still lagging behind other sectors in terms of growth, productivity growth in the last 25 years. We have skills shortage, skills gaps in the industry. We also have real challenges with mental health in our sector. You're more likely to take your own life in construction than fall from height. So those are real problems that manifest themselves in what is a weak business model. You know, the product of construction is fantastic. The buildings we live and work in, the roads we drive along, the infrastructure projects, they're great. The product is great. The business models sitting behind them, though, are vulnerable. And that's why we have this stat of, you know, at the moment, 4,500 firms a year that have fallen into a state of collapse.
So you mentioned the movement's been going for 3 years, sort of anecdotally linked to the lockdown and COVID and those points coming from. There was massive impact that obviously had on the construction industry in that time. So is that just a coincidence, or did Zoe set it up at that point, deliberately seeing what was happening?
Broadly, you know, the whole economy now, the whole globe is facing some complex economic challenges, and construction industry is just at the end of some of those challenges, I suppose, and that's not to be unexpected. I mean, I don't think as construction we should be citing COVID as the main problem. We've had this problem for some time. It's just that we've, you know, consistently ranked number one for insolvencies. It is a problem. We need better outcomes from construction, and the initiative has just, like I say, started very loosely as a series of events taking place in Manchester. We've now formalised ourselves. We're now a non-profit registered organisation. We're looking at how we get funded, because we're actually all from the industry. I mean, we're all volunteers to the organisation. We've all got day jobs. We're all in the sector. So we're being driven by the sector, which is nice, because we've had a lot of public sector intervention over the last two or three decades. And yes, whilst it's done some good, it hasn't pulled it all together. We're not necessarily saying we're going to save the construction industry. What we're trying to do is influence and pull that influence together through various stakeholders and get the focus on the weak business models and the problems that can manifest as a result of that as well.
And if I may say, therefore, the movement initiative is in its infancy, 3 years in.
Yeah.
What changes have you seen, or change in discussion or dialogue in that 3 year period since it started?
I think we're really starting to see the relationship between business model and outcomes. You know, as a society brought on by COVID, we're recognising social inequalities more. We're turning our attention to environmental outcomes as well. You know, the big thing from this event I'm taking away is ESG. It's at the forefront of everybody's, you know, following COP26, we're all talking ESG because the financiers are involved. They're talking, you know, that they want to put money into the investments, the regeneration schemes. They want to see those better outcomes, and we are fully in support of those outcomes. But part of that jigsaw puzzle is the business models that sit behind it, because we've got a vulnerable marketplace. I could call it an aggressive marketplace or a competitive marketplace, where we're still paying subcontractors late. You know, we've still got bad payment practices in the industry. That's a form of modern slavery. When you're not paying people, that's modern slavery.
But some developers sign up to the accord where they will pay people on time, the pay on time principle, don't they? I'm not going to slate the whole industry together, and the thing is, it is complex, it's multifaceted, but we just want to get a platform together where people can talk about it, and we can make incremental adjustments around our industry, get the dynamic working better, get closer relationships. You mentioned earlier before we came in, you know, as you will talk to your client, and when the budget isn't right, it doesn't fit the model, talk to the industry. Let's find a solution. Let's work together. Let's let's be collaborative in our style, build relationships, long-term relationships, and get better outcomes for all, and make sure that we build a robust and more resilient industry. Because post-COVID, if we learned anything, we do have to be more resilient in our approach.